So, hello everyone, this is your English teacher Manoj, and let us read and understand the chapter 2, The Master Artist. So, let us start with the para 1, and I hope you are going to enjoy this story. So, Monsieur Sinalabe. Monsieur means this is a French word and it means Mr. So Monsieur Sinalabe had been a master artist of his day. So here the story is about an artist whose name is Sinalabe, and he was a master artist of his times. And it was 1932, and he was ready to retire when in the month of May Giuliano Bartoli, a rich Italian patron, sent for him. So Sinalabe, he was going to retire. Then it was the month of May, or there was a rich Italian patron. Patron means a person who always supports artists and writers. So he was a rich patron. So he sent for Sinalabe. वो उसके लिए बुलावा भेजता है. On his arrival, Bartoli said, I would like a portrait of myself on the wall of my dining hall, where everyone can see it. Could you paint it? The wall is 20 feet tall. So now, what did Bartoli said? He said to Sinalabe that I want that you make a portrait of myself. I want to hang it on the wall of my dining hall where everyone can see it. So he wanted Sinalabe, who had been a great artist of his day, to paint his portrait. Now let us refer to para number 2. So Muse Labe looked thoughtful for a moment and then shook his head. So Sinalabe, he thought for a moment and then he shook his head. वो अपना सर हिलाकर कहता है, I'm sorry, but I don't think so. He refuses him at once. उसको एक बार मना कर देता है. I'm ready to retire, so I'm not available for hire. Now I have decided to take the retirement, so I cannot be available. However, seeing the disappointment in Signar, but as I said these words to Signar, he was very disappointed, so I could not see the disappointment in his eyes. तो उसने कहा, well, there is a possibility if you think you can allow me to use my abilities to the fullest. But he also gives him a hope, okay, this can be possible. If you allow me to use my all potentials, अगर आप मुझे मेरी सारी potentials को use करने दोगे, then I might paint your portrait. So what was the condition? Let's read on. If you let me find out how far I can go as an artist. If you would let me know, अगर आप मुझे ये जानने दो कि as an artist मैं कहाँ तक पहुँच चुका हूँ. Not for money, mind you, but for food and a bed instead. So I would not be needing money at all. Okay, I just need food and a bed, and you need not even pose because memories is excellent. वो से कहता है कि आपको पोज बनाने की ज़रूरत भी नहीं है, राइट, बिकॉज जो मेरी मेमोरी है इट इज़ एन एक्सलेंट. इफ़ आई वुड सी यू वंस, अगर मैं आपको एक बार देख लूँ, सो आई वुड मेक अ पोर्ट्रेट ऑफ योर सेल्फ वेरी वेल. यू डोंट नीड टू स्टैंड हियर एंड मेक अ पोज. ऑलरेडी आई कैन सी योर पोर्ट्रेट इन माई माइंड. यहाँ पे सिनलाबे कहता है कि मैं आपकी पोर्ट्रेट को अपने दिमाग में देख सकता हूँ, बट आई इंसिस्ट Signor Bartoli that while I work. So what was the condition? Condition क्या थी? That while I work, your portrait must remain hidden. आपकी जो portrait है that would remain hidden even from you. आप भी उस portrait को नहीं देखेंगे. You would not interrupt while I would be painting. Now let us refer to the third paragraph. How strange, thought the patron, but he also thought about how highly the artist had been recommended. तो पेट्रॉन ने, उस रिच मर्चेंट ने कहा, दैट इज़ वेरी स्ट्रेंज, लेकिन उसने साथ के साथ ये भी सोचा कि इस आर्टिस्ट को बहुत लोगों ने रिकमेंड किया है. सो आई थिंक ही इज़ नॉट सम ऑर्डिनरी आर्टिस्ट. ओके, ऑफ कोर्स ही हैड एनीथिंग यू विश, बट आई इंसिस्ट एट लीस्ट अपॉन पे यू समथिंग फॉर योर एफर्ट. तो उसने कहा ओके एज यू विश ओके बट आई वुड इंसिस्ट ओके दैट आई वांट टू पे यू समथिंग फॉर योर एफर्ट सो लेट्स मेक अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. वो कहता है लेकिन फिर भी मैं आपको कुछ ना कुछ पे करूँगा आपके एफर्ट्स के लिए सो लेट्स मेक अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. नाउ अ ग्लिंट केम टू Monsieur Labbe's eyes as he gazed upon that 20-foot tall wall and thought of all that space. अब एक शाइनिंग एक उसकी आंखों में आ जाती है सिनेलाबे की आंखों में जैसे ही उसने उस 20 फुट टॉल वॉल को देखा. When he thought of all the space, okay, that he had enough space to draw his imaginations, to draw whatever he wanted. So that was a big enough space. So his eyes were gazed. Such a wonderful space to give his imaginations wings. So he had enough space to give his imaginations wings because unknown to Signor Bartoli or indeed anyone else, for all of his career of 45 years, Monsieur Labbe had longed to paint in his own way. Because for all these years, he had a career of 45 years, and in these 45 years, he always longed to paint in his own way. वो कभी भी अपने तरीके से पेंट नहीं कर पाया. ही पेंटेड एज ही वॉज इंस्ट्रक्टेड. एंड वट वे वॉज दैट. अब उसका तरीका क्या था. सर्टेनली नॉट द पॉपुलर स्टाइल्स ऑफ द टाइम. नो. Monse Sinalabe had hungered to break free of restraints. He wanted to break the limits. He wanted to go beyond the limits of art. वो आर्ट की जो लिमिट्स थी उनसे आगे जाना चाहता था. He wanted to paint something different at all. But the guilt, his craft and livelihood would never have allowed it. लेकिन यहाँ पर उसकी जो गिल्ड थी मतलब एक यूनियन थी आर्टिस्ट की विच वॉज क्वाइट पावरफुल. उसका क्राफ्ट और उसकी जो लाइवलीहुड थी because of those reasons he was never able to paint his masterpiece, to paint what he had always longed for. So he followed their rules although he was never proud of it. तो इसी वजह से वो इन्हीं के रूल्स को फॉलो करता था लेकिन he was never proud of the rules. Of course he didn't reveal this to Signor Bartoli. हालांकि उसने ये बात Signor Bartoli को नहीं बताई. So signing the contract they sealed the agreement. तो after that दोनों के बीच में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो जाता है और वो अग्रीमेंट सील्ड हो जाता है. Now class, let us refer to the second page. Immediately the master artist threw a high curtain in front of the wall, a curtain through which Signor Bartoli could not see at all. तो तुरंत ही जो मास्टर आर्टिस्ट था ओके सिनेलाबे ही थ्रू अ हाई कर्टेन इन फ्रंट ऑफ द वॉल. राइट. एक ऐसा कर्टन राइट एंड even Signor Bartoli could not see through that curtain. He tried to peek, but Monsieur Labbe insisted on total privacy for his artistic techniques. तो ही इवन समटाइम जो सिग्नोर बार्टोली था ही वुड ट्राई टू पीक लेकिन मॉन्सियर लैबे उसे बोलते कि नो आई वांटेड कंप्लीट प्राइवेसी फॉर माय टेक्निक्स. A week passed. How is it coming along? Asked the hopeful Signor Bartoli. So how a week has been passed. एक हफ्ता हो चुका था since Sinalabe had been painting his portrait. So वो आता है एक उम्मीद में कि I hope the work must have been finished now. तो वो कहता है कि how is it coming along? कैसा चल रहा है? Answering him from behind the curtain, Monsieur Labbe said, "It is coming along quite well." तो उसने कर्टन के पीछे से ही जवाब दिया, "Yeah, it's coming along quite well. You know, at the age of 8, I was apprenticed to the great Ambrogio Lorenzetti." So now, Monsieur Labbe tells the merchant, the rich merchant, okay, that when I was 8 years old, so I was apprentice to the great Ambrogio Lorenzetti. He was also a great artist in his times. I could never dishonor his name, और मैं कभी भी उसका नाम बदनाम नहीं करूँगा. I would never dishonor his name. He taught me the art of grinding pigment, laying plaster, sometimes slowly, sometimes faster. उसने मुझे सब सिखाया. He taught me the art, the skills of art. किस तरह से हम पिगमेंट को ग्राइंड करते हैं, कैसे प्लास्टर को ले करते हैं, कभी कभी स्लो ले करते हैं, एंड समटाइम्स वी हैव टू lay the plaster faster. He taught me how to draw and most importantly not to hurry. और उसने मुझे सिखाया कि कैसे पेंट करना है. He also taught me that never to hurry. कभी जल्दी नहीं करनी है. Signor Bartoli, a masterpiece takes a while at least. तो उसने कहा सिग्नोर बार्टोली एक मास्टरपीस को बनने में समय लगता है. सो रिलेक्टेंटली सिग्नोर बार्टोली विथड्रू. तो ना चाहते हुए भी जो सिग्नोर बार्टोली था, ही वेंट बैक, वो वहाँ से वापस चला जाता है. अ मंथ पास्ट. हाउ इज़ इट कमिंग अलॉन्ग, सिग्नोर बार्टोली आस्क. सो वंस अगेन इट हैज़ बीन अ मंथ. तो उसने कहा कि अब कैसा चल रहा है. इट्स कमिंग अलॉन्ग नाइसली सेड म्यूंसियर लाबे. तो लाबे ने कहा कि या इट्स कमिंग nicely. Again from behind the curtain, along with his words, came the strange sounds of swishing, clanking and slapping. तो ब्रश जो पेंट ब्रश थे उनकी आवाज़ आ रही थी. You are fortunate that I'm painting your portrait. अब now जो सिनेलाबे था, he tells that you must be lucky because I'm painting your portrait. Only beyond fresco will need 4 coats of lime plaster. It is the best plaster process I ever saw. Sooner battle, it will last forever. But it is a time consuming endeavor. Okay. वो कह रहा है कि जो प्लास्टर मैं यूज़ कर रहा हूँ दिस विल लास्ट फॉर एवर, वो बहुत लंबे समय तक चलेगा. और जो मेरा एंडेवर है, जो मेरे एफर्ट्स हैं, दे विल डेफिनेटली कंज्यूम सम टाइम. सो साइनिंग डीपली द पेट्रॉन विड्रू अगेन. तो फिर से वो वापस वहाँ से चला जाता है. जस्ट हाउ लॉन्ग वुड दिस टेक, एंड ही थिंक्स, ही क्वेश्चंस कि और कितना समय लगेगा. Another 3-4 months passed and finally half a year went by. One day Signor Bartoli marched in demanding to see his portrait. You must be finished by now and today I will see it, he exclaimed, shaking with frustration. तो इसी तरह से अगले 3 महीने 4 महीने और इसी तरह से आधा साल निकल जाता है. तो फाइनली ही वॉज आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल और सिनोर बार्टोली अंदर घुस जाता है एंड ही डिमांडेड टू सी हिज पोर्ट्रेट. उसने कहा यू मस्ट हैव बीन फिनिश्ड बाय नाउ एंड टुडे आई विल सी माय पोर्ट्रेट. अब तक तो आपका काम ख़त्म हो चुका होगा एंड टुडे आई वांट टू सी माय पोर्ट्रेट. तो फ्रस्ट्रेशन से शेक करता वो चिल्लाता है. Stepping out from behind the cloth, as though surprised by such anger, Monsieur Labe said calmly. तो जो Monsieur Labe था, now perhaps okay he was surprised by such anger, तो उस क्लॉथ के पीछे से निकल कर आता है और कहता है बहुत एक in a calm voice, that's fine, you needed only to request it. और that's fine, okay, बस आपको मुझसे रिक्वेस्ट करने की ज़रूरत थी. You don't need to be angry at all. And he pulled aside the 20-foot tall curtain. और जो वो दीवार के सामने उसने जो कर्टेन टांगा हुआ था, he pulled it aside. Giuliano Bartoli stood for a minute, then his mouth fell open. तो for a minute he stood there. And जो उसका माउथ था गुलियानो बार्टोली का, उस इटालियन रिच मर्चेंट का, his mouth fell open. उसका जो माउथ था it fell open, वो खुला का खुला रह जाता है. And his eyes turned red and he grabbed what few hairs he had left on his head. उसकी आंखें लाल हो जाती हैं and he had a few hairs on his head, और वो उनको पकड़ लेता है. In frustration, he did a little hop and then a twitch and his eyebrows twisted as though he was under a spell. तो वो jump करता है and there was a twitch on his face, और वो अपनी eyebrows को ऐसे twist कर लेता है that he was under a spell, जैसे कि उसी के ऊपर किसी ने कुछ जादू कर दिया हो. So Giuliano Bartoli obviously did not like his portrait, not a bit. तो उसकी expressions को देख के ऐसा लग रहा है कि Giuliano बार्टोली को अपनी ये पोर्ट्रेट बिल्कुल भी पसंद नहीं आई थी. He did not like his portrait at all, not a bit. Giuliano Bartoli was enraged. Now he was in anger. He was extremely angry. How absurd! How disgusting. What does this mean? Now he says, what is that? This is disgusting. What does that mean? You will not receive any money. Do you hear? वो कहता है, I will not pay you anything. You are not an artist, maybe a thief or a madman. वो कहता है कि no, you are not an artist. Okay, an artist cannot make such paintings at all. या तो आप कोई thief है यहाँ एक पागल आदमी है. Get out of my sight. You will leave my house tonight, or I will have you thrown out. उसने कहा सामने से निकल जाओ कि leave my house tonight, या मैं आपको बाहर फिकवा दूंगा. So whatever Sinalabe had painted, Giuliano Bartoli did not like it at all. So what had Monsieur Labe drawn that was so wrong? He couldn't see it. He had fussed and fixed for so long. It was his 20 foot tall masterpiece. So nobody did understand, okay, कि जो मुंसे लाबे ने जो ड्रॉ किया था उसमें ऐसा क्या गलत था. He couldn't see it. So Giuliano Bartoli could not see his portrait, okay. He worried. He fixed there for so long. But Sinalabe was not feeling sorry because he had drawn to his heart's content. उसने अपने हार्ट को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए ये पेंट किया था, and for this he was not feeling sorry at all. His way, no matter what anybody could say. He painted in his own way, and he did not care that what others would say. And perhaps his patron couldn't tolerate his cubist expression. So actually it was a new form of art, it was a new style, and his patron means Giuliano Bartoli did not like his way. Lekin Pablo Picasso, who had been a great artist, who was born after Sinalabe, he would definitely have been proud of his art, his skill. If truth be told, agar sach kaha jaye, so Mionse Labe wasn't crazy, not at all. He wasn't crazy, he was a great artist, but he would simply been born 500 years too early. लेकिन शायद उसका जन्म 500 साल पहले हो गया होगा. If he would have been born after 500 years, so perhaps okay, people would understand his art, his new form of art, and they would have appreciated his works. But he was born early, and that time people were not able to understand anything of his art.